In a quiet meadow near the edge of a forest lived a young crow named Oliver. His feathers were shiny black, his wings were strong, and his nest sat safely in the tallest oak tree. Every morning, sunlight streamed through the leaves, and Oliver would stretch his wings proudly. He had food to eat, water to drink, and a family that loved him. By all measures, Oliver's life was secure and full, and yet Oliver was not happy. Each time he looked around, he found something to complain about. His eyes were restless, always comparing himself to others. When he saw the peacock spread its dazzling feathers in the sunlight, Oliver sighed. If only I were beautiful like him, then I would be happy. Everyone admires the peacock. Nobody admires me. When he noticed the eagle soaring high above the clouds, Oliver's heart ached. If only I could fly like that, then my life would matter. The eagle rules the skies. I am stuck here, small and ordinary. When he heard the nightingale singing sweet melodies that enchanted the whole forest, Oliver whispered in envy, "If only my voice were beautiful, then others would love me. But my caw is ugly and harsh." No matter what Oliver had, his nest, his strength, his family, he could not see it as enough. In his mind, everyone else's life was brighter, better, more meaningful. And so, although his stomach was full, his heart felt empty. Oliver was determined to fix his unhappiness by becoming like the others. One day, he plucked some of his black feathers and decorated himself with colorful leaves and petals, hoping to look like the peacock. He strutted proudly, but when the wind blew, the leaves scattered, and the other birds laughed. His cheeks burned with shame. Another day, he tried to fly as high as the eagle. He flapped his wings with all his strength, soaring upward until the thin air choked his breath. His wings grew tired, and he fell clumsily back to the ground, bruised and humiliated. He even attempted to sing like the nightingale. He practiced for hours, trying to twist his rough caw into melody. But no matter how hard he tried, his voice cracked and broke. The forest animals mocked him. The harder Oliver tried to be someone else, the emptier he felt inside. Every failure carved deeper wounds in his heart. One evening, as the sun dipped low, painting the meadow in gold and orange, Oliver sat sadly on his branch. His wings drooped, his eyes dimmed. Why was I made a crow? Why couldn't I have been born as something better? His heart grew heavier with each thought. Though he had plenty of food, water, and shelter, he couldn't see the blessings right in front of him. The next morning, while flying slowly along the meadow, Oliver noticed an old white dove sitting by the riverbank. The dove's feathers were simple, his wings frail. Yet there was something peaceful in his eyes as he sipped gently from the water. Oliver landed beside him and sighed loudly. The dove turned and asked in a calm voice, "Young one, why are you so troubled?" Oliver replied bitterly, "I have nothing to be happy about. The peacock is beautiful, the eagle is strong, the nightingale sings sweetly. But me? I am just a plain black crow. What's so special about me? What reason do I have to be happy?" The dove smiled gently. "Happiness doesn't come from being more than others. It comes from seeing what you already have and sharing it." Oliver frowned. "But how can I be happy with so little? I am not admired. I am not powerful. I am not loved." The dove simply said, "Follow me tomorrow morning, and you will learn." At sunrise, Oliver followed the dove across the meadow. They flew to a nearby village where children were playing. The dove dropped a small seed from his beak. A child picked it up with delight and fed it to their chickens. The The chickens clucked happily and the children laughed. Oliver asked, "You had only one seed. Why give it away?" The dove replied, "Because seeing others smile makes my heart full. My joy grows when I share." Later, they saw a sparrow carrying a piece of bread larger than herself. Instead of keeping it all, the sparrow tore it into pieces and shared it with her family. The little ones chirped happily, their eyes bright with gratitude. The dove turned to Oliver and said, "Do you see now? Even the smallest act of sharing creates happiness that no beauty, strength, or song can bring. The world doesn't need you to be someone else. It needs you to give what only you can give." Oliver thought deeply about the dove's words. That afternoon, he noticed another crow shivering under a branch, hungry and weak. For the first time, Oliver didn't think about himself. He carried a few grains he had stored and dropped them near the poor crow. The crow ate gratefully and whispered, "Thank you." Something strange happened in Oliver's heart. It felt light, warm, and alive. That night, for the first time, Oliver slept peacefully, not because he had more, but because he had given something away. In the days that followed, Oliver began to change. He stopped comparing himself to others and began using his own gifts. He used his strong wings to help carry food for younger crows. He used his loud caw to warn friends of danger. He used his sharp eyes to guide his flock safely across fields. Slowly, Oliver realized he had gifts of his own. The more he shared, the happier he felt. He no longer envied the peacock's feathers or the eagle's flight. He discovered joy in his simple life, in the food he found, the flock he loved, and the kindness he could give. Weeks later, Oliver returned to the old dove. With a big smile, he said, "I understand now. Happiness isn't about being the most beautiful, or the strongest, or the best singer. It's about being grateful for what I have and using it to help others." The dove nodded, his eyes shining with wisdom. "Yes, young one. The world doesn't need another peacock, eagle, or nightingale. It needs you as you are. And when you accept yourself, you will see that nobody is truly poor, because even a crow has something to share." Tears filled Oliver's eyes, not of sadness, but of joy. For the first time, he accepted himself completely. He wasn't perfect, but he was enough. And in being enough, he found happiness. Dear friends, Oliver the Crow teaches us that happiness is not about what we lack, but about what we already have. When we compare ourselves to others, we lose sight of our own gifts. But when we are grateful and willing to share, even the smallest of things, we unlock a deeper joy that lasts. So remember, you don't need more to be happy. You just need to see the value in what you already have and use it to bring light to others. That is the true secret of happiness.